Something we often hear is that students need to become critical thinkers. But what exactly does this mean? One dictionary defines critical thinking as the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. In other words, thinking critically about a topic means that we can take a step back, explore multiple perspectives, and come to a rational conclusion based on the evidence. Proponents of so-called 21st century learning consider critical thinking to be one of the 7 C's, a transferable skill that all students should learn. Hence, we hear a lot about teaching students critical thinking skills. The reasoning behind this is that once students master the skill of critical thinking, they will be able to think critically about anything they come across, regardless of the topic. Sounds great. Now, let's try it out. Use your best critical thinking skills to evaluate this statement. George Brown's call for representation by population in the province of Canada was helpful rather than harmful to the cause of Confederation. Now wait a minute, some of you are probably saying. How can I think critically about this statement if I don't know anything about George Brown or representation by population? Exactly right. You need to know a whole lot of things about Brown, the political context of 19th century Canada, and the other politicians in Parliament at the time. Without that background knowledge, it is impossible to think critically about this statement. In fact, background knowledge is always required for critical thinking. You cannot think critically about something you know nothing about. Ignorant people don't think critically, ever. Now let's be clear. Knowledge doesn't guarantee critical thinking. You can know a lot about something and still not think critically about it. However, you cannot think critically without knowledge. In other words, knowledge is a prerequisite for critical thinking. Consider another area where knowledge is essential: reading comprehension. Give students an article to read about a topic they know nothing about, and they will struggle to understand it. However, they will have little difficulty reading an article or book when they already possess background knowledge about the topic. The more they already know, the more effectively they can read and understand. Simply put, reading comprehension depends on background knowledge. It is important to note that knowledge is highly specific. In order for students to understand an article or book about World War II, for example, they need to know specific things about that war. It is not sufficient to have a general understanding of the concept of war, or a vague notion about why conflict can lead to tragic consequences. The key to understanding an article or book about World War II is for students to have considerable prior background knowledge about that particular war. Nothing else will do. Reading is often described by educators as a transferable skill, but this is only partially true. While the ability to decode individual words is largely transferable to different texts, the same cannot be said for reading comprehension. Subject-specific background knowledge is needed to understand what you are reading. The more you already know about a topic, the more you are able to learn about it. Thus, content knowledge is essential for reading comprehension. The best way to prepare students for the 21st century is to make sure they are immersed in a content-rich curriculum that provides them with the background knowledge they need. This will only happen if we restore content knowledge to its rightful place. The fact is that content knowledge is the key to learning. I'm Michael Zwagstra. Join me next time as we explore how to make our schools better.